Omid and Kojo Show.
Well, man's just here on it. I showed up. That's
Yeah, you
that's
made
all
it.
you could ask for. But yo, hello, and welcome to the Omid and Kojo Show. This is a show, and I'm Omid, and that's Kojo.
Coach.
Imagine I just went like this. My whole hand came in and grabbed your head. Hughes said I look high.
Omid looks high.
I'm not Chris High.
Omid's off his tits again on Crystal.
I'm on the glass again. I'm falling off the wagon.
No, I love it.
No, I'm just nickel-backed, knackered.
Yeah, fair enough.
What
What are we talking about today then? You're going to talk about some flips and all of that.
Yeah, we'll talk about some flips.
Flips
I
and
do
whatnot.
flips. You do flips.
Someone commented, I know you both. Thick.
Well, who said that? Because I don't know him. How do you know me? Don't know me like that.
Front hip pain when spamming swings. All right, we got our first topic of the day. Now, this is something that a lot of people experience when you first start doing swings. Then it kind of messes up your body in some way. Like my lower back used to be really bad from doing gainer switches. Like I couldn't do them more than a few times in a session, and it's kind of like that for a few months. But what you realize is that it's because you're doing it wrong. I was going way too high. I was like bouncing. Do you remember what they used to be like? My gainer switches used to just be a really high layout off one leg.
Well, mine was
pressure on you.
Mine was the opposite. It was a really low backflip off one leg, and I was just like straight muscling it, and it was hurting my lower back and also my quads. Now, having got good at gainer switches now, the thought of my quads hurting from doing switches is the craziest thought to me.
I guess,
how am I doing it that bad?
You had a completely different problem. Like you managed to throw your chest back and push your hips forward, kinda.
Yeah.
But you didn't rebound off your leg at all. I just bounced off my leg and didn't do anything else.
Just like the human pogo stick.
Yeah, I was doing it like Dom Lewis.
Yeah.
Just human pogo sticking.
Nah, but for real, it's a pretty short one. You need to look at how you're doing these tricks, because it's not good enough to be able to just do the flips. You need to understand how to do that well, and I'll do it for him because I was literally watching a KTO video like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, sign up to Kojo's Trick Lab and you can learn all the flips and you can know what to do and what not to do.
Well, Camquat says that you have a natural hamstring glute load. So there you go.
What?
With your dirty glute load.
Natural glute load. What's he on about?
Are you saying you got a peach?
I do. Actually, yo, okay. I discovered something the other day that I've never noticed. So there's this machine at the gym, and it's weird. You've got to put your hands on this thing, like so, and you put your foot on this weird like swing behind you, and you have to push it out, and it's for the top of your hamstrings and your glutes.
And
it made me realize that I've got a real problem with the firing of my glute on my left side, which doesn't really make any sense. I can't get it to like activate the way that I want to, especially compared to my right. And I don't really understand why that's happening. But it's because of working out that I've realized that I've got this like crazy imbalance, and I'm gonna see a PT or just look online or speak to people that I know and try and figure it out, because that could be causing some of the problems that I've got on the other side, because I have problems with my right hip flexor and adductor, and it might be because things aren't firing the way they're meant to, you know, on the other side. So yeah, work things out. And work out so that you can nip things in the bud before you end up getting injured. Because that's something that I'm really, really grateful for. Like
what?
Taking the preventative measures and then discovering more things that can be fixed, because there's clearly a problem there. And then that could mean that 6 weeks down the line, when I end up doing a trick, because I've done all the preventative measures, because I realized early enough, I don't end up getting injured. And then it just means, yeah, you end up getting to trick for longer and not fuck your life. But yeah, Cameron, sorry. Yeah, I'll chat to you about it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got one thing.
Go on.
Oh, it's too zoomed in.
I want your body. Gimme.
Genuine message I got today.
What was the rest of it? What did
That was literally it.
That's the whole message.
The whole message.
Well, are you gonna give it?
I'll give him a bit. I'll give him my left. No, I'll give him my right adductor because it's useless.
That's a bit stingy.
Yeah, well, they don't deserve.
I mean, at least give him the quad. You know.
Nah, I'm not giving them that much meat. My quads look like baby seals.
You're valuable. do you charge per kilogram of Omid?
I do per gram.
Per gram of Omid meat. Oh no. What's the value on that? Is it as expensive as prawns? Doubt it.
It's as expensive as cocaine.
It's not as expensive as cocaine. Right.
You don't know. You don't know what you can get on the black market with these quads. These seal-like quads.
Oh.
You want to see? I put it on my story, but I just want to share. Oh, you can't even see it. Fuck's sake! Everything's too soon.
You need to screenshot your photos better to show the people, to show the masses. What was it? Is this just a park?
No, it's just where I was on my little bike ride today. It was lovely.
Oh, how far did you cycle?
I think it was 7 miles. Not far.
Well, out of people watching, if you trick, let us know what other training do you do to help your tricking? Because I found that cycling does really help. I mean, I haven't cycled for a long time now, but I used to cycle like so much. In 2015 and 16, I used to cycle like 10 miles to the gym and 10 miles back from the gym. And it's really good for like making your legs super strong, building up your cardio, keeping you lean, slender. Yeah, no, I think it really helps. Now I just walk because I'm too old these days, so I just walk around the swamp. But
no, you say that though, but it's not impact. This is why
I could cycle. I just don't have a bike.
Yeah. Well, once you get yourself out to the old gal, the continent.
Oh yeah.
Get a bike. I can see you nipping around on your bike, getting into all kinds of mischief, crashing into other vans. You know.
Yeah, I'm moving. I've talked about this before on the lives, but I'm moving to the continent soon on the 13th of September. Then I'm moving to Portugal, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah, it'll be lovely.
Good timing as well because it's starting. Like summer's kind of over in England now, pretty much.
Yeah, I came out of the gym the other day and there was mad mist and fog and shit, and I was just like, okay, and it was freezing cold as well, and I was just like, okay, so it's the depth of winter now. It just changed in the time that I went in the gym and came out an hour later. It was winter. What the fuck happened?
I'm glad we had pretty good weather through the lockdown though, because so I had my last session back in the gym last week, and it was it was what I'd been hoping for and expecting. Like all of this training on grass, like just training loads of basics and setups and like making everything really solid on grass, and then training power moves on trampoline. If you do both of those two things and you understand how to transfer stuff from the trampoline to the ground, then you can just be like instantly better in the gym without actually having to rep out these power moves. And it's cool that works. So if you're someone out there who just has access to grass and trampoline, I think you can become super good with that. And people who just have access to grass, like if you make the effort to get that trampoline access, you know, it's
not that much. It depends on where you are in the world and what your
but most places, most
places, you can get like if you're in America, for example, and you complain about not being able to get a trampoline. If you're over the age of 16, you shouldn't be complaining, really, unless you've got extenuating circumstances.
You've got to be resourceful though. You got to make a mate, like make some friends.
Well, not even that. You can get one from Craigslist or whatever. Just do a bunch of jobs around your neighborhood or some shit. They always love getting their fences painted in America.
Like someone said, 0 gyms and tramp parks are still not open here. I wonder. Let us know which country that is. I wonder which countries aren't like are completely shut down. Because I know most of them do have gyms and tramp parks. And it's like, get your own trampoline is the key.
Yeah,
and
that's what
if you don't have one, or if your parents won't let you have one or whatever, then you've got to go out of your way to get one. You've got to be like, all right, what do I need to do? What jobs do I need to do around the house? I'll work for weeks. I'll work for months. I'll get all the grades you want. I'll do anything. What do I have to do to get a trampoline? You say that, you follow through, you get your trampoline eventually.
And
like, for most
well,
people, you can manage it.
Once you've got that proven track record, even if it's just with one thing, it'll start with one thing, and then you're like, well, I proved trustworthy before. Now I want to get a sprung floor in the living room. But like, you do actually have to, if you show like, I said I would do this so that I could get a trampoline, and then it just opens you up to more opportunities with your parents, and then you can take that forward into building relationships with gyms and stuff.
Not in Indonesia though. Peak there.
Oh, yeah.
No sports centres. Unlucky. Well, grass training it is then, or soil, or whatever you got over there
on the concrete,
marshland. I don't know, reeds, rivers. Go train in the river. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Cam says try getting a tramp in North Korea. Imagine that.
I wonder if they'd encourage it, or they just
maybe Kim would hook you up. Maybe if you're super good, like just to represent North Korea, you could like maybe write him a little letter, you know, offer him your services. I don't know.
You could teach him.
I don't know.
You could offer him your teaching services. You could teach it. You'd be like, listen, if you let me have a trampoline, I'll teach you to double layout, and show him a video of a double layout.
You're playing with fire there.
Because if you hurt one hair on his head, you're done for.
Yeah. Scar said it'd be scary to represent North Korea. Like,
like your literal life is on the line.
Yeah, you better land that full in, triple back out. Like, you're done otherwise. Nathan said, I heard about alternate routes shutting down. It's pretty sad. And that is pretty sad.
That is sad, yeah.
Did you hear about that? Have you been to that gym?
No, I never got to go, but you were saying you always spoke so highly of it. And it's got a mega tramp, hasn't it?
It had a really nice mega tramp setup with like loads of, well, it had enough space around it. It was a really big mega tramp. And and it had a spring floor and like Ninja Warrior stuff, and it was parkour gym as well. So yeah, it really sucks that closed down.
It's a shame. It's something that, like, I guess we haven't heard that much. I haven't heard that much more about any of the tricking gyms getting into tricking or free running gyms getting into that much kind of bother because of COVID-19, actually having to shut down because of it and stuff.
Well, it's because it's not America though. Because in America, then they're just like, I don't know, they don't help anyone, do they?
Yeah, that's true.
But all the gyms here got like grants and stuff, so they could
just give them $20 and fucking
they're like, oh, you gotta make it last. It's $50 on your way. You're not allowed to open for 2 months though.
And if you do, then we're gonna harm you.
Yeah.
In Brighton news, I want to talk about my latest video because these guys here were so funny. The guy at the back, the bald dude here, said, me and Chris were just doing flips in Glasgow, showing the locals, obviously. And just as Chris had finished his combo, he walked away and he was like, just remember, Jesus loves you. And I thought it was the greatest thing. The reactions that we got in Glasgow were fucking amazing. Like, that woman there wanted to take me home, said she wanted to put me in a baby grow.
No.
I loved it.
She'd rip you apart.
I said in the video, she looked like the women looked like they'd tear me apart like a chicken wing. It's a problem, I'm telling you.
These Glaswegians, crazy place. Where? All right. What's the best place you've shown locals insane flips of all the places? Which one did they like it the most?
New York, I think. Actually,
Really?
New York was one of the craziest. I mean, I went to Times Square. Like,
More than LA? I thought they'd be pissed in New York, but more interested in.
Nah, because I was in all the touristy locations.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like the security guards were pissed, but they weren't too pissed. They were kind of like, you know what, just like, it's cool what you're doing, but you need to move up because if you hurt someone, then we've got to deal with it. I was like, yeah, that's fine, I understand. But that was crazy because that was just as my first, like, my soul video started popping off, and I got stopped 3 times in one day by random people. Obviously, I was pretty recognizable because I had the big fucking handlebar mustache, but I got stopped by 3 different people being like, "Yo, are you the guy that did the flips in?" I was like, "Is this real life? Is
The
this
guy that
actually
shows
happening?"
locals and same flips.
I
Are
was
you
just
that?
like, are you the guy that's been showing every local on earth?
Are you showing in insane flips right now?
Oh yeah, but it was funny. Like, one of the girls that was just in the crowd in Times Square, she was like, "Oh yeah, I saw your video in Korea." I was like, "What?" It was just so strange to me. And then I was walking with this girl that I know, just in Brooklyn. I wasn't filming, I wasn't doing anything. I was just chatting with her, and some guys stopped me and were like, "Yo, I saw your video in Asia." I was like, "What? This is nuts!" Like, for real.
Have you crashed into anyone in any of those videos?
I haven't, no. But Chris, in this Glasgow video, nearly killed many men. Honestly, it was a problem. It was a bunch of shit, and he's been battling some injuries and stuff, so he was a little bit out of sorts when it came to concrete tricks. He hasn't been doing too much, but he was a good sport, and he was helping me out with the video, and he kept just doing shit, and he's too wild. He's like, I don't have it in me to, like, go all the way with it, because the thing is, like, I know if I was to do it in a particular way, it probably would do better, but I can't. I physically can't do it. It, like,
just the cringe of it.
Yeah, I just can't be too much, because I know I'm being a nuisance, but I can't take it, like, past what I'm doing, really. I don't want to be too much of a nuisance where I'm actually like in people's faces and shit, you know.
Well, I know you're better at that than me, because I find it, like, in the past, I found it really hard if I'm with Omid filming any of these videos, because it's like I feel physical pain from the cringe. It really like hurts me, and I try to get past it, but it's just kind of, I don't know, I guess it's just been instilled since childhood. Just, I find it hard to do anything that I would, if I'd be really annoyed at someone else doing it. Like, I'd never be blasting music out loud on a bus, because I'd be like, wear headphones or something. Like, I just don't, I find it hard to be the sort of person who I'd be looking at like, and so when that's going on, when the YouTubing and getting in everyone's way and just for no reason, for a pointless video, I find it really hard. It, like, I feel it within me, like, oh, I hate this. That's I like my swamp. Someone said build a spring floor in your swamp. That'd be the dream right there. It would get really moldy and be covered in rats. There's a lot of rats in the swamp these days. I see them every time, but I don't mind them, because I'm like, it's cool. Like, you can be in the swamp, you know. A rat in my house, we dealt with that at the old house, and that wasn't great. But a rat in the swamp, I'm cool with it, you know. Like, you rat. I just, like, chill with them, hang out and kiss them on the lips.
I remember the rats in Washington.
Oh.
In the pizza joint. In the pizza.
Yeah. So we went to this pizza place, and after we ordered, we just kept hearing, like, on the ceiling, like, hammering around, and we were like, what is that? And it dawned on us after a bit that it was like a plague of rats running across the ceiling.
And, you know, we were so tired as well. We'd just been battering our bodies for weeks, and we were just like, we all looked at each other and we were like, nah, it's not rats. And we all knew it was rats. We knew, and we were like, it's not. Okay, yeah, it's rats. But then the question was raised, so obviously we leave and we don't eat the pizza, and then it's like, oh, but we've already paid for it. And the people that were working there,
we wandered around as well. We'd been trying to find a pizza shop for ages. They all had big queues, and then we found this one that didn't really have a queue, and we were really hungry.
And also, I mentioned I said something. I was like, what? I said to one of the people that worked there, I was like, what is that sound? And I kind of didn't want to ask, because it's kind of an awkward thing to do, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I want to get rat pizza. So I was like, well, okay. And she just barely spoke English, so it wasn't great, honestly.
Yeah. We ate the rat pizza
on the floor. We sat down on the floor outside this pizza place, and it was good pizza.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was alright pizza, but I felt wrong eating it.
Yeah, I felt wrong.
I felt really wrong eating it. Oh, we've got a couple of comments here. Ferry says, "Can you both follow me?" Ferry, explain why we should follow you, and I'll do it. If you've got a valid reason, if you're doing something I'm super interested in, then go for it. Maybe if you're amazing at tricks or something like that. If not, then why would I do that? And Seth says, "Where are the best gyms to train in England?"
Basingstoke.
Basingstoke gym's sick.
Amazing gym.
Revolution. One of our local gyms, one of the best now, because it has two spring floors and it has like 4 different tumble tracks. One of them's a fast track. It's got a huge resi pit with different tracks to it and trampoline to it. It's got a vault box with a resi pit next to it, and it's got a foam pit as well. It's kind of got everything. It's even got a free running section too. Like Revolution's up there. It's kind of pretty much as good. The only thing that's better about Basingstoke is rather than 2 floors, they've got like 1 giant floor, so you can do really long combos and stuff.
Yeah, and also it has. Oh wait, no, Rev. I always forget.
Rev's pretty
got. No, I was going to say Rev's got a full free running section as well. I completely forget about that, and the other trampoline over to the other side. That whole area, I just never really go in, honestly. But I was going to say that they've got the 3-run gym in Basingstoke as well. That floor's nice too.
Yeah.
But where else is good? Hadouken's good if you go during the day. It's just a little bit dark at night.
It's a bit dark. I like it though. Well, in the day when I can see. But yeah, and they got the sauna there. They got this little sauna.
I know. I didn't get to use it.
Oh, it's sketch, but great. I like it. Like Hadouken. Okay, so I missed like the first 2 or 3 Scottish Power gatherings because I was always in America when they were on. But then when I went to one, it was actually one of the best gatherings in the world because it's like a really small gathering, but they hook it up. Like Chris's mom, who runs the gym with him, she makes like breakfast for everyone, and there's so much breakfast, there's like food left over, which is amazing at a gathering. Normally there's never enough. Yeah. And they've got this little courtyard bit just outside, so you can be chilling late at night and there's no one bothering you. They've got a sauna in the gym next to the showers, so you can have like cold shower, sauna contrast. They got a room with a sofa where you can be chilling and watching shit. It's a really nice gym for a gathering. Like I prefer that to a huge gymnastic facility, one that's a much more homely gym.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same, and I like the fact that it's run by a tricker. He's built it from the ground up, and he's like, yeah, he's done a really, really good job with it, and he's got a whole weightlifting area as well.
Yeah, nice gym.
Yeah.
All right. Sefe said, "I've been wanting to learn triple fall. Any tips for getting more torque?" What's your tip for getting that torque, Omid? Talking it up.
Well, I mean, either way, like building your core strength and just connecting your body while you're doing the twist, because that was something I had problem with before. I'd really rip my arms, but I didn't know how to engage my hips. And I mean, I'm not going to go into full detail as to how to engage your hips, but it's like once you do connect those things and your body's moving as one unit, then it's just a case of just getting the strength and the timing right of the takeoff and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and obviously, I think one of the easiest ways to get really good at triple falls and being able to squeeze them around, obviously trampoline, but not just doing them on the trampoline, learning how to do them standing on the trampoline, because then you can't get away with having really bad technique. You kind of have to use pretty good technique or you're not going to get round. So if you can get it bouncing and then lower the amount of bounce until it's standing, then you're gonna get really good at ripping it in the same sort of way you need to on the floor. And he said, what are some good exercises for twist? Best one, twisting on a trampoline. Like, I mean, obviously just all core conditioning helps, but twisting on a trampoline is the key to twists, really. Like I did standing triple B twist on the trampoline today. Like I figured out the axis, so it was really easy. So yeah, hopefully that on the floor soon. But I think tramp's the key to get new hard moves. That's my approach. But you have to know how to take stuff from a trampoline to a floor. So the better you understand that link, the more valuable a training tool it becomes. And it's worth making it a valuable training tool. Look at Tiki Wu. Like,
yeah, perfect example.
Tramp, like, yeah. I guess the Tundra kids, their version, they don't use tramp, but they use air track. So it's a similar sort of thing. They understand how to take it from the air track to the floor.
And their floor's fucked.
Oh yeah, that floor's like super bouncy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a question here. Oh no, it's not. Yeah. No.
What?
Let's have a look at these. I'm just having a look at these comments. I was just reading one of the questions that someone submitted.
You want to read it out loud?
Nah,
Is it done?
it's just yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Someone said, "Where is Kojo from?" He's from a swamp. He was born and raised in a swamp.
Yeah. So it's a funny story actually. So I was found like under. So in the swamp, there's all these little streams, yeah, and there's like little walkways and bridges going over the streams. And I was found under one of those little bridges, and just my head was poking out of the water. So, I mean, legend says that I emerged from the mud and like grew out of the mud, and then I was found by humans and raised by humans, but I still have to return to the swamp to charge my energy because the swamp raised me. Like the swamp was the one that birthed me. So yeah, I mean that's my story.
Well, that
Really.
makes sense as to why you got mossy ass legs as well.
Yeah. I grow moss. I don't actually grow hairs. I just grow moss.
Man's mossy, you know.
Yeah. I go green in the winter sometimes.
Oh god.
I know some people are bringing up Shrek, but Shrek's actually a distant relative of mine. He didn't raise me. That's a common misconception. He lives in a different swamp, like different neighborhood. You know,
Neighborhood.
different neighborhood,
Different swamp hood.
different swamp hood. Yeah, but a good friend of mine. I mean, I aspire. Shrek 2 actually shaped my life. Like, I learned a lot of wisdom from that movie. Last time I watched it, I was like, damn, that's where I got that from. Learned most of my behavior from Shrek and Donkey. Great mentors of mine.
Oh, I'd say well, I got a lot of gems from Batman.
Oh yeah,
the one with the Riddler. Jim Carrey is the Riddler.
oh yeah. You picked up a lot of your Omid movements from that. Basically, tricking style on him.
My movements, my personality, everything. It's because everything's just a big joke, you see. Hang on, Ferry's back.
He said, "Look at my question."
He said, "Follow me, please. I want to learn things of both of yours." Well, Kojo's got a whole website dedicated to teaching people.
The thing is, you know what would really help with learning things? Like, imagine. All right. Let's go on a little quick journey here. Imagine I'd spent 10 years dedicating every day of my life to trying to train tricking, and then I paid over 100 different trickers, tens of thousands of pounds, to make videos teaching tricking. And then I also spent thousands of hours of my own time making more videos to teach tricking. And then I had over 1,000 videos that taught you the mindset, taught you how to condition and stretch and technique for pretty much every trick. Imagine I did that. And then to fund it, then it was £10 for a month. Imagine that. That would solve it, wouldn't it? That would solve it. If that was something that I did, that would solve your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that has absolutely no relation to us following.
Unfortunately, we don't live in that world. Unfortunately, none of that could have happened.
So Kojo will follow you.
What? Who am I following?
That was the guy that was asking us to follow him, I think. Was it him?
All right. Yeah. I don't know. If you want me to follow you, this goes for anyone, then send me a video of something on your feed that's impressive and I'll follow you. If I don't think it's impressive, I won't follow you. If I do, then I will. All right.
I think that's a fair rule.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, I don't know. We've seen a lot at this point. It's going to take a lot. Now, plate spinning, if you're a master plate spinner, you get the follow off Omid.
Oh, yeah, you're into that.
I'm into that. Just thought of it just now. Haven't thought about that in several years.
Nice.
Deep into it. I like
Tricking Fast says, battle me, you two.
Oh, get off, man. You know what's way more important than that comment? Hang on.
What?
Wait, hang on, because I keep showing everyone this.
Go
Actually,
on. It's not the pigeon again, is it?
oh, nah. Did I show that in the last live? It is another bird, though. Look.
Oh no!
It's called a blue-footed booby.
The blue-footed booby. You need to get one of them.
Well, I was saying, so right, okay. Imagine if there was like, if I told one person, and every one person, well, I've already told like 20, 30 people about these. I've just DM'd people with these pictures.
He DM'd me. He DM'd me this picture last week, actually.
Yeah. But anyway, so if everyone that I've showed this blue-footed booby, if they showed one person each, and then they showed one person each, and one person each, and it kept spreading. Eventually, once it becomes a mainstream animal that everyone loves and adores, then it could get its own Disney movie, and
right,
and then it would all be because of Omid.
All right. Does it need a Disney movie?
Hell yeah! Have you seen that thing? I'm gonna get the picture up again. Don't let me get the picture up again.
What would the protagonist be called?
Blueby.
Blueby?
Blueby.
The blue-footed booby?
Yeah.
Blueby, the blue-footed booby. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Nah, it's not. You don't need full name when you're
You just
married.
call him Blueby.
Blueby. And
what are his
imagine,
parents called?
okay.
Why have they named him that? Why have they named him after their species?
Imagine.
Like you being called
It's just human
Huey.
Omid.
Yeah, little Huey. Oh, he's such a human, isn't he?
Well, okay.
Look at his legs and his cock.
I was, I was saying to someone, I think it'd be so much cooler because we've seen all these Disney movies about normal animals that everyone's already seen. We all know cats and dogs. Yeah, we've seen them. Imagine there was a Disney movie about animals that could only be found in really remote places like the Galapagos Islands that people hadn't seen, and they're cool as shit, and they don't look real, but they're actually based on real animals. Because watching nature documentaries, seeing the shit that's out there is mental. There should be more.
I agree. There should be more niche animals in Disney movies.
Yeah.
You should make a petition. You should become an advocate for that.
Yeah, getting blue-footed booby rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I got a passion for bluebies.
Right. Showing Kobe locals insane flips gone wrong. Show savings. I like it. Oh, you've got to do one in Japan at some point. They just won't be impressed. They'll be correcting you on your form. No, oh yeah. I'm just imagining you doing it in the street, and they're like,
nah, they loved
they're
it.
used to seeing quads.
Yeah, they loved it. It was great. I'd like to do it again, just slightly better. But I don't know. So I've been talking to Kojo about this recently, about how, so I don't know, because it's because of that kind of cringe factor that comes with it. Like I like the finished product because I think it makes for a really interesting video, in my opinion, and I do enjoy filming it, but there are parts of it where I'm just like,
Well, I know what would solve it. What I think would do a better job of it. Okay, so you need to plan ahead more for this. I think you just need a bigger group, because if you look at Stora, they can do their stuff in public places and it not be cringe. Because there's so many of them, it looks like a whole film crew. So it looks like a whole thing is going on, not just some twat.
Yeah, but they're not trying to get the attention of the public.
But they do get the attention of the public, though, don't they?
I know, but that's
like, you don't need to try. You just need to do some impressive things.
I know, but that's not like the premise of their videos. There's not that many of their. I'm doing a whole series where it's based around the reactions of the people that I'm doing the flips in front of.
It'd still be better if you had more people involved.
Well, yeah, that's true, but it's
surprising. Plan in advance, meet up with people.
It's surprisingly hard to do that though, because even when I was in Japan, it was around the time of the gathering, and I don't know. It's just a lot of the times when these things happen, it's like I'm in the place and I'll try and get people to help, like, be a part of it, and because it makes for a much better video, and I enjoy filming it a lot more. But it is kind of hard a lot of the time. If I'm going to a place specifically to film one of those videos, or there's certain places like if I were to do it in LA, then it would just be so easy. I could just message a couple of people and then there'd just be tons of people there. But when I'm in fucking, I don't know, like when I did it in Birmingham, this kind of, it can be hard sometimes, even though it's in my city.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I got a question here that's come up quite a lot actually, because a few people message me and I get comments about it. Someone said, "Do you plan on attempting quad cork?" And yeah, like quad cork's one of my goals. I don't have that many power goals anymore. I'm mostly concerned with how my tricks look and doing the combos I want to do. There's no point just being a worse version of a load of Japanese people. I'd rather just do things in a way that no one else can do them. So I'm working more towards that. But quad cork is one of those things that I've always wanted to do. So yeah, I will do at some point. And it's not the sort of thing that I'm going to be attempting really. It's the sort of thing that I'll do when I'm ready to do it and I'll land it, because I can't afford to be failing quad corks loads with my ankle. So I'll prep it to the point. I'll need consistent trampoline access. I'll probably do a counter of how many I do, and I'll aim to do about 1,000 on the trampoline. I'll get it to the point where I can do a triple cork, open up and turn my hips and do an extra half twist before landing. When I can do both of those things comfortably and consistently, like I've done my 1,000, I can do the triple cork like that. Then I'll put them together and I'll do it. But that's probably going to take like, I don't know, a couple of years, realistically. Yeah.
It's weird how things have changed. How time frames don't come up in my head ever.
I just look at decades now, really.
Well, yeah, like I try and see everything in like a much longer game view. Whereas before it was like, right, I want to land it in the next month, or I want to do this in the next month, and it's bled over into everything in my life, whether it be, you know, clothing stuff or YouTube videos or fucking tricks. Everything is more long game now. I'm just kind of looking at it like I'm in all of these things for the long run, so don't rush and then end up hindering myself as a result of it, because that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
If you look at it with business, you end up throwing all your eggs into one basket and then you fuck it and then you're like, oh, I got no money. And then with tricks, if you try and do stupid things because you're trying to rush to get to the end result, you get injured and then you can't train. It's just the same.
I think that's the sort of thing though that I don't think anyone can really explain it to you. I think it's more just people's lived experience kind of shows you, because like from all the time we've both been tricking now, like both of us, we can just look back and we can see exactly what it took to get to do the hardest things we can do now and how you can do them, and like how we went about doing it and how you could have done it better and all of that. And you see, when you look back and see how you got to where you are, you see that it wasn't about rushing to get this move landed in a month. It was more about like the habits that you instill in your training and like building things up over time. So when you see that that's what actually works, like trying to get triple in a month or something is just useless. You just spam loads. Even if you get it, you might not have it consistent. Whereas if you're training it in a smart way, building it up, then you'll have it and you'll just have it solid. And yeah, I think you have to have kind of like experienced that before you really get it. Because when you're just passionate and want the tricks, then you want to just like go for it, don't you?
Yeah. Or you can just have the guidance. If you're fortunate enough to have the guidance of someone like just being like, no, you're being stupid and this is why. Like someone like Jose or Zen or anyone who's got like a coach that they work with consistently throughout their first few years of tricking that kind of instill those, I don't know, kind of thought processes and mindsets into you, then yeah, you can just kind of go for it at that point. Because if you've got the guidance, then whenever you're going to overstep the mark, someone's going to be like, come on, you're being stupid. Whereas like when it was us, it was just young men just being like, well, fucking
all you got is Nathan shouting fail at you when you fall and stuff, and just telling you to try things that you shouldn't be trying,
and just jump higher.
Yeah, telling you to jump higher. But now there's way more information. Like someone commented no coach, but it's like now the internet's your coach. There's masses of information everywhere. And even just the free information, there's loads more than there was 10 years ago when I started. And it's way better because technique was nowhere near as developed as it is now. And then obviously if you pay £10, then you got over 1,000 videos now. So there's not really much of an excuse now. It's like everyone has a coach if they want it. Most
Well,
people
you
choose
see-
not to have it, but they could get like super good if they wanted to, but they choose not to.
Well, sometimes it takes someone literally just kind of grabbing you by the scruff of the neck and being like, "Nah, you're not doing that because it's stupid." Because like, yeah, like it's hard to. It's like you need to instill the thought process that you need the knowledge, and you also need to be measured and methodical in your approach. And the best way to get that, if you don't have that naturally, because I've always just been like too erratic.
Yeah,
like,
you always trying crazy
trying to
things.
fucking run before I can walk. But like, I was fortunate in some senses, but then it ended up being my downfall. It cost me like 2 years, year and a half of my life of just being miserable because I was like, well, my knee's fucked and I can't do the thing I love, and everyone's telling me you might never be able to do it again. So it's like, if you are fortunate enough to have a coach, then you listen to them if they know what they're talking about. That is.
But that's another thing. There aren't many. I mean, we're always talking about this one, but there's not many tricking coaches really because it's such a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Scar said, it took me a year to learn aerial in 2006, and it took me months before I got an aerial. But now it's like I can teach a 50-year-old with no experience an aerial in like 30 minutes. Like I have done that multiple times, just because it's more about if someone can tell you the right things and the right steps, then it's really easy. And I don't know. I do wish for. Okay, so this is an interesting one, Omid. Because this is one that I still don't have an answer to. So I think about this. I'm like, would my life have been better or worse if I'd had all of that support and that coaching? I wonder, because I'm like, sometimes I think, I would have gotten way better at tricks, but what if I'd become one of those, wouldn't I've just become a really weak person? Because from not pushing through myself and having all these injuries and messing everything up, then maybe I wouldn't have like built the same mindset. Maybe I would have just been one of those kids who has it all given to him and just gives up. But I don't know. But then I think maybe I would have just appreciated it and been way better and more successful. I don't know. I wonder about that one quite a bit. Would it have been better or worse? I don't really know.
I think it's just a double-edged sword. It would have been better in some ways because you probably would have progressed faster, got injured less. You wouldn't have learned the same lessons. Sorry, you might not have learned the same lessons, and if you did learn the same lessons, you would learn them in a different way. And then I guess it is kind of a completely different lesson if that's the case, because it's like it's the emotional attachment that comes with the knowledge and experience that hits home the hardest when you're younger. For me, anyway. Like when I got injured, it wasn't the fact that I was in pain, and it wasn't the fact that that I couldn't do the flips. Like, it's the fact that you couldn't do the flips and you had no control over it. And it made you really fucking sad and frustrated. And if you're just kind of told that and then you really take that on board, if you haven't really lived it where it's taken away from you, then you're not going to have the same appreciation for it.
That's true. But I guess injuries probably still would have happened. Because they're just, it's a dangerous thing. And it's like you progress faster, so you do harder moves. And with harder moves comes a higher chance of injury. So it
saying that,
still happen.
It may have just been like relative, because if you've got the right advice and the right information, then you would have been conditioning and stretching in a much better way. So you would have been stronger as you were doing the harder moves. So it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you're doing the harder moves, the risk is greater because your body is more attuned to that. But then the other side of it,
smaller margin for error. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it is all relative to how strong your body is. But I don't know. I just think about that with life in general, because I try and when anything that doesn't go well, that's going bad, like with anything in life, I try and like treat it as a positive. It's an opportunity to make yourself like better in general. So I don't know. It just makes me think like maybe if it had been like way easier, then maybe I probably wouldn't have been capable of like starting KTL and pushing through with all of that.
I don't think I would have done it.
Because the thing, I could have got like really good at tricks. Like if I had all this support and stuff, I could have like gotten good at tricks, but I would have done it with loads of support. Whereas KTL was something that I had to do without loads of support and work really hard at it until it worked out. Whereas I would have never known that that was possible because I wouldn't have experienced it. Like the only reason I stuck at it and spent a year editing 6 videos a week for him, working all day, every day with barely any money is because I knew that if you keep trying your absolute hardest, then you can figure things out and you can work things out in the end. But I maybe wouldn't have learned that if tricking was handed to me. More like, you know, the trickers who've had like lots of coaching and have their own gym and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the other side to it is, I doubt you would have started KTL because it was bred from a need that you
It's
want that you had when you were younger, because you wished you had the advice and the information. Then you were like, well, I'm just going to create the thing.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have thought like that because you would have just been like, and also you would have been so focused on tricks that you wouldn't have been like, well.
That's true. I think that explains something that came up before when we were wondering why lots of the very best trickers in the world for a long time there was loads of tricks that just didn't have any tutorials on them. And there are people who are incredible at them who didn't make a tutorial. And like, to me, that seems strange because I was like, but there's loads of people struggling with this and you know how to do it. Why don't you just tell them? But that's thinking from my perspective of me being one of those people really struggling with it. If they learned it without that, if they just had a coach teach it to them, they practiced it, they got it, then they're not really thinking about the struggle of people who don't have coaches. So yeah, I guess without that, I probably would have never even started. Yeah.
Also, I think it'll be a very different landscape in future, because even if somebody is really good at a trick and there are no tutorials on it, like that won't be the case really in the next 5 years or whatever. But if there are tricks that people are really struggling with and no one's making the tutorials, then it's kind of like, why would there's no incentive. People aren't just going to take a bunch of their time when they've got a job, they've got relationships, they've got friends, they've got tricking, and they've got all of the other training that they need to do outside of that. They're trying to make themselves able to train, so they're not going to be concerned with everybody else's training, which I think is perfectly reasonable. But
yeah, true.
I think because KTL and now Adrenaline and various other places where you can get this kind of information have happened, I think there's much bigger incentive for people to be like, you know what, I will give the time to it. And they, even if it's not purely to help people, because I don't believe that everybody that does this kind of coaching in future is going to be to help people.
I don't know. This is a big part of my approach, actually, because I'm a pragmatist in the way I go about things. Like, I'd rather, it's the same reason why I charge instead of doing like YouTube tutorials like some other people do, because I just think you want to do the best possible. You want to give the most, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I try and think what's the best possible way. And my way, it's not necessarily the nicest way, I suppose, because there's going to be some people who can't afford it. And I do offer a way for people to get it for free, but obviously it's harder than if it was just on YouTube. So so there's definitely some people who lose out, but then there's some people, and hopefully those are the people who care the most because they're willing to spend money to fund these things being created. So they're the people who are really into getting good at tricking. They get a much better service than what YouTube alone would have provided, because YouTube wouldn't make the money that I need to pay all of these people, you know, like nowhere near, not even a tenth of it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think I think it's because you have that approach, it's gonna cause the longevity is just gonna come as a result.
Yeah, that's why I think, like, realistically, if you pay people, you just get better work out of them. Yeah, and that goes from myself. That's where I treat my own time. I know that if I get paid for something, I'll do a better job. Yeah. But also, just all the trickers that I do pay, like, even there's been trickers who have offered to do it for free, but I make a point of telling them, like, no, I'll pay you this much. Because I know that even if they do it for free, then they'll be like, oh, I'm doing it for free. And they won't try quite as hard. When you're paying someone, they pretty much always do a little bit better. They try a bit harder. You can ask more from them as well if you're paying them. Someone said, how much is KTL? It's £10 for a month, which is like $13 or something.
Well, I think that guy's from the UK. I think he was he's from Wales.
Oh, he's from Wales, isn't he? Yeah. £10. I don't know. Wait.
I think it might have been.
So, like, someone said this, okay, and this is something I agree with, and also the thing that you're going to think of first, anyone watching, I have also thought of that. Said, if you care about the thing you love, you'll find a way to get money to pay for KTL. And I'm like, yeah, because I used to live on £30 a week, and I spent £20 of it on getting to one tricking session. And I had another tricking session that was £2.50. But for that extra session, so I could have 2 sessions a week instead of 1, then I lived on noodles and chicken to keep my costs as low as possible. Because if you actually want to get as good as possible, then you do what it takes. Now, you might be thinking, people in like third world countries or whatever, if you can't afford it, it's going to be way harder. Well, those people, they can message me, and I give them access for free. They just have to complete a challenge, which shows that they're actually into tricks. I normally get them to like learn a trick or do the 1,000 rep challenge on a trick or something like that. But yeah, so there isn't really, I don't know. My goal is for everyone who truly cares about tricking to be able to have all of the information I wish that I had. My goal isn't, now this is where me and the YouTube creators differ. My goal isn't for everyone to have all the information they want on tricking, because honestly, people who don't really care that much about getting good at tricking, I don't really care about them. I don't know anything about them. I can't relate to them. I'm someone who's dedicated my life to this and really care about it. So the people who are kind of half-arsing it, just do it for a little bit of fun, I just can't relate. I'm not going to spend hundreds or thousands of hours of my time making stuff for those people. Don't care about those people. And that's just me being honest. I don't know. But I do care a lot about the people who like really want to get good, because I can relate to them. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's honest, but I know some people don't get it. I get people messaging me about this sort of thing quite a bit. But
what about you saying you don't?
Well, they're like, they're always telling me like, why don't you do this for YouTube or this for YouTube? Why don't you just post like smaller version? And it's like, because people on YouTube, I don't know. I don't have any interest in working for them for free. Like I'm motivated to work for people who want to get good at tricks, like not people who don't give a shit, who won't even pay £10 to fund it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think if people understand that mindset a little bit more, as to like, because the money has such a stigma attached to it. No matter how big or small the figure is, it's kind of like it has all these attachments to it. Whereas if you have the mindset where it's like, me giving this money is directly supporting this whole kind of movement, which it is, it's helping tricking as a whole, because the more money that's, I don't know, going to KTL, the more videos and the better the product can be, then the more people that can learn, that do really want to learn. And
also the trickers making the videos, it means they have an incentive to get better at making videos. They're not just making it for the mass. They're not making it for as many people as possible. They're making it as good as possible, because it doesn't matter how many views they get, but it does matter how well they make it, because I offer incentives for people who make better videos. Yeah. So rather than YouTube, which it encourages you to make videos that more people watch, it doesn't encourage you to make better videos that teach tricks better. So like, that's why there's loads of tricking tutorials that are terrible, that have millions of views.
It also encourages more. It also encourages more people to get really good at coaching, which is something that is a definite need.
Yeah, I think we need more, the sport. More incentives for that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. I don't know. I'd like to, with this one, Omid, because I know you agree, obviously, because you've known since before I even started this, then we were friends, so you know about what I was trying to do with it. Mm-hmm. But I'd love to have like a proper kind of interview or talk with someone who really disagrees. I would love to talk to someone who really disagrees with my approach. You know, because I just want to hear all their points. I want to see if there is anything, if they've got anything going, if there's something that I don't have like a clear answer to. Because I feel like I could answer pretty much anything someone put to me if they really disagreed. But I'd love to try that out. I want to see, I don't know, if anyone knows someone who's really against KTL, what I do, and thinks it should all be on YouTube for free, put me in contact with them. I'd love to chat to them.
I think what you'll find though is, it's like anybody who's saying that, it's purely for one thing and one selfish reason. It's not because they disagree with your approach or they think that it'd be better for this reason or that reason. It's just because they don't want to pay £10. And it's when I really think you'll find it difficult to find someone who does really disagree with the approach. And also multiple things, because I think people might have one thing where it's kind of like, well, because I think one decent argument is, well, the more accessible knowledge is, the better it is for the sport as a whole. It means people train safer and they get better, and there's nothing that's going to stop them from. It's not hindering anybody's chances. It's an equal playing field at that point. But it's kind of like, well, that's like saying, okay, well, why is all food not free? Why is all school not free?
Now my argument to that would be like, you can get free food. It's the same as it's the same with tricking information. Think of it like this: free tricking information. That's like going to a food bank. So yeah, you get it for free, but you're getting like a can of beans or some rice, or you go to a restaurant and have a chef make something really nice for you, but that costs money, doesn't it?
And you're not going to complain about spending that money if it's great food,
because by you spending more money at the restaurant, and that means that chef is getting paid for it and can spend all his time making food as good as possible, and they can buy the best ingredients and they can like make something really good. And that's the same way we work with KTL, because if people pay for it, then I can pay trickers more, which means I can ask more from them. I can get them to submit plans of their videos and review their plans and send back videos and try and make them better. I can pay editors to make the videos better, and I can actually, you know, make something really good instead of beans.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need someone who disagrees, because it's just us agreeing, which isn't useful, really, is it?
Well, someone on a slightly different topic, someone asked if I was going to make another skateboarding video. The answer is actually yes. Yeah, I'm kind of in the process. I've got a bunch of videos that are kind of banked, and I'm editing them and releasing one video a week every Monday at the moment. And I just want to take YouTube in a slightly different direction, whereas and I want every single video to be like a full kind of project. And a week gives me enough time to film and edit to the best of my ability and make each video like a full thing that is going to be really worthwhile and worth the time watching. Because I felt like, especially during lockdown and stuff, like all of the videos that I was making, they're just kind of like, it's all just the same shit. It's just regurgitated. I'm Omid, I'm going to do my flips, and I'm Omid again, and I might do some more flips, and then that's the end of the video. Whereas like I want to really provide entertaining content, and I want to do things that are more true to the kind of things that I'm into. Because it's got to a point for me now where like, I don't know, like I feel like I've just been too soft over the past like year and a half, 2 years. I've become a little pussy bitch, and I'm not okay with it. And
you need to get back to doing the McDonald's burger challenges.
Well, nah, it's like I just want to do that kind of shit though. It's like I want to do ridiculous things like that, but it doesn't have to be that. Like that was that video, one of the funniest experiences that I've had filming a video. Honestly, I was laughing the entire time. It was so much fun.
Well, I still think you should do the cycling to Scotland one.
Well, basically,
I'd love to see that.
The kind of videos that I want to be making now are like really challenging myself, whether it be with a skateboarding video. Like I want to do like a learning to heel flip in 24 hours video. I want to cycle to Paris, and I want to do like mental things that like I want to be able to look back on my life and be like, fucking hell, I can't believe I actually did that. And the perfect thing about it is I have the incentive to do these things alongside just the want, because like it's all well and good wanting to do these things, but it's a lot harder to do it when you've just got to take all of your time out of your life to do that. And you can't, like, I don't know, it's a lot harder to do those kind of things. Whereas like the videos pay for me making the videos means that it pays for the trip, and it means that I can afford to do different things. So yeah, like cycling to Scotland, cycling to Paris, sorry, that's going to be...
I want to see you do it. You made this video cycling to Paris. It gets 600 views.
I mean, even if it does, though.
I think it would do all right. But it'd be a cool... You could make it into a cool video. You could maybe... All right, because other people, like endurance athletes and stuff, they'd do that shit. They'd cycle to Paris and it'd be fine. You could add in another element with flips involved. Like, you got to do tricking combos at different landmarks along the way.
Well, I don't know about all that, because it depends on my body. Because
I've got to do challenge. Because it would
360 miles.
Yeah.
Because to me, like, obviously I'm going to do flips. Like,
it would get tragic. You'd be trying to do a sailor.
I don't do anything without wanting to do flips. If I see a cool thing, I want to do races in front of it. So there's always going to be a races involved somewhere. But the draw is going to be like, you're saying that endurance athletes are going to do that shit, but I'm not a fucking endurance athlete. So that's going to be hilarious watching Omid go through all this shit just because I've always wanted to do mental things like this. And then on top of that, this man also does flips. Oh, now he's crying. Oh, he's lost. He's got a flat tire. He's in the dark. Oh, he's crying
now he's
again.
crying and doing flips.
Now he's crying and cycling. It's just going to be like a 15-minute video of me crying on the way to Paris, and then ended up getting the train because I can't do it.
That sounds amazing. That sounds like premium. That you could be on YouTube premium with content like
that's the kind of shit that I want to make. Like I've always been a bit mental, and I want to just like really show the real mental side of me. The type of shit that's just going to be like, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to go. Like this weekend, I'm just going. Like, yeah, I don't know. Soon.
You should see how much. You should try and cover a mile doing gainer switches. Like, yeah,
I'm already doing it. So okay, so I'm filming that the weekend after. But I don't think I'm going to do it with switches because I think it'll just be a lot harder to kind of.
What would you do with?
I was going to do it with back handsprings.
But that's lame, man.
I don't think I could do covering a mile with switches.
Well, not obviously. I think in one day.
Well, the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to measure out. I'm going to measure out how, like, there's a field by me, and I'm going to measure out how far it is from one end to the other, and then I'm going to figure out how many times I need to go back and forth, and then I'm going to do that. If my body's not in good enough shape to actually do it anywhere else, because if I need to do it on grass,
I'm thinking 5 switches would maybe cover what, like 7 meters if you like let them go backwards a bit. 8 meters maybe.
How many did you say?
5. I'm thinking if you did it in sets of 5 switches at a time. That
would be fucking rough, dude. I don't think I'll be able to. Think about it. If you've done sets of 5 on grass, I don't think you're doing any more than 10 without then really starting to feel it.
Oh damn! 10 sets would only be like 80 meters.
Yeah.
Oh no! 100 sets of 5. So you'd have to do about 200 sets.
Yeah.
But
then it wouldn't.
It would make it a real challenge. It would make it a real challenge.
I think back handsprings would be a real challenge.
Yeah, but back handsprings are lame though.
They are lame, but it's within my remit. I don't want to do it and then get to like 500 meters and be like, well, that was a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm trying to fit. So 200 reps of 5. How many is that in like a minute? Well, no. How many do you need to do an hour? Let's say we spread it out over 5 hours. So you got to do 40 sets every hour. So you got like a minute and a half to do every 5 switches. You just start to get really fatigued.
Yeah,
I mean, Goggins did like 4,600 pull-ups. So
yeah, but he's a fucking endurance athlete at this point.
But he ran over 100 miles and he never ran a marathon.
I know, but you see that kind of shit. I think I could do. Well, no, I don't think I could just do it, but like I think there's a better chance of me being able to do that kind of shit because after a bit, my muscles are just going to give up with switches. It's too much impact as well. This is
a bit far. Like,
this is why the Paris shit with cycling, there's no impact. It's not going to fuck me the same way.
You could do a kilometer. Do a km. Think of that. A kilometer, that's way less. So let's say 5 covered like 8 meters, and you'd have to do what 100 and I don't know, like 125. So you have to do like, yeah.
Also,
like
the timer hasn't come up, but I need to
I think we're done.
But
are you coming, Jim? Are you coming to Rev tonight? Are you going to UTX?
Nah, I'll be at UTX.
Oh, I'll be at Rev then. Have a good session.
Enjoy your session, and hope you guys enjoyed.
Peace. In a bit, Dilly.
Hang on, wait, Manny West.
Oh, he's been wanting attention for so long. I think it's like a 12-year-old probably.
Manny West. Shh. Anyway, everyone else, hope you enjoy your evening. Much love. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you for watching live. Peace.
Safe.